Hello everyone. I didn't think this video was ever going to see the light of day because, well, I was doing some cleaning up on my hard drives of all my extra E footage, and I had accidentally deleted most of the footage from this particular engagement. It's an editor's worst nightmare. A few months went by, and while I was working on a different project for my new sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. I'm just kidding. I went looking through my music folders, and what do I see? E recordings. What the hell are these doing here? Were these the long lost clips? Yup. Turns out when I was doing some organizing, I accidentally dragged over some of the footage into my music folder, causing the source files to, delink. Anyways, I think I rambled long enough. Let's get started. As you remember from last time, we were hitting Boss's French outpost. Today's Fortress siege is an armor timer, which means that the enemy will still be able to tether even if they lose the objective, so it was natural to expect a fierce resistance. On grid with us today was a combined Munin fleet of NC Dot, Pandemic Legion, Test, and Slice. Oh, and there's also carriers on grid, which will siege the fort from a safe distance. You know the drill by now. As I surveyed the battlefield and saw only Feroxes, I couldn't help but feel a bit of sadness for these poor souls. Until I spotted a Nyx in the corner of my eyes. And attached to his rear is something that I have not seen used in the battle space since, well, ever. Storytime. As part of the Vat Out of Hell patch in November of 2020, CCP introduced a new mechanic where capsuleers can consume a booster called a nanoheuristic clone mapper, which will allow fleet members to immediately respawn in a pod on top of the fleet member's supercarrier that has the tactical capsuleer recloner module active. This is especially important to their allies who have to come a long way for the fight. What this ultimately means is that podded persons can get back into the fight with little to no delay, while we would have to reship and bridge back into the system. Pods staying alive? Well, their allies seem to have showed up with smart bombs equipped to their ships, which I assume to get their people floating in pods back into their ship ASAP. So as long as the super keeps his ship maintenance bay full of fitted Feroxes, reinforcement would readily be spat out to continue the fight. Load the Feroxes into a carrier, undock and transfer them into a supercarrier, and so on. The minor gripe about this module though is that apparently you can remain tethered while it's active, and the pod appeared to be invulnerable for a limited time, so that enemies couldn't just sit there on top of the supercarrier and smart bomb them to deny a chance to respawn. However, once you board your ship, there doesn't seem to be any invulnerability timer, so balanced? So it was clear that their strategy was to throw themselves at us until we drowned in their blood. The Astra Militarum would be proud. As the Fortizar came out of reinforcement, and the fighters were on their way, their Feroxes began detethering and engaging our fighters. So we aligned to them. EMP rounds, loaded. Hardeners, preheated. We're about to brawl.
Take this fleet warp, guys. Should have EMP loaded. Should have EMP loaded. Here we go. Anchor props on, anchor props on, anchor props on, links up, anchor props on, links up, anchor props on, links up. Your primary is Exodus, your primary is Exodus, your primary is Exodus. Your secondary is going to be Zadie. Your secondary is going to be Zadie. Bubble them, bubble them, bubble them, bubble them. Shoot Zadie, shoot Zadie, shoot Zadie. shoot Frost Steel. Go ahead and shoot Frost Steel. Frost Steel, guys. Okay, next you're gonna shoot Velo. Next you're gonna shoot Velo. He's broadcast for you now. Secondary is gonna be LAM. Secondary is gonna be LAM. Veo's dead. LAM, LAM. Secondary, you're gonna start locking up Saraki. You're gonna start locking up Saraki. Shoot Saraki, shoot Saraki. Start locking up Joe Custer. Start locking up Joe Custer. Okay, shoot Joe Custer. Shoot Joe Custer. Start locking up Custard Creams. What's like this custard themes? Anyways. Next you're gonna shoot Admiral. Next you're gonna shoot Admiral. Saria, then Admiral. Saria, then Admiral. Small stuff get off grid. They're PDSing. Small stuff get off grid. Guys, don't broadcast for PDS damage. Broadcast if you're getting yellow boxed only. Alright, shoot ACT max. Secondary is gonna be Gren Stormhammer. Secondary Gren Stormhammer. If you get yellow box, you're gonna overheat your hardeners. You're gonna hit your ADC. Broadcast for reps. Don't broadcast for PDS. Don't broadcast for PDS. Everyone shoot Dale. Everyone shoot Dale. Everyone shoot Dale. After Dale, you're gonna start locking up Febreze. You're gonna start locking up Febreze. Logi, how we doing? Shoot Fabrizio. Next, you're going to shoot Zarian. You're gonna shoot Zarian. Next, shoot Zarian. Next, shoot Zarian. And then you shoot Tremond. Let's go ahead and shoot Fugaro. Shoot Fugaro. So D-Lock Zarian, shoot Fugaro in the Ferox. Shoot Fugaro in the... Next, you're gonna shoot Cynthia. Next, you're gonna shoot Cynthia. Next, you're gonna shoot Cynthia. Alright, everyone shoot BOG. Shoot BOG. Shoot BOG. Overheat guns, one cycle on BOG. Overheat guns, overheat guns, overheat guns. Come on. Burn through them. Alright, go ahead and shoot this guy. Shoot KUZ, shoot KUZ, shoot KUZ. Reps on Kara, reps on Kara, reps on Kara, reps on Kara. Shoot KUZ. Alright, go ahead and shoot Ivy Lash. Go ahead and shoot Ivy Lash in the Ferox. Ivy Lash in the Ferox.
We're getting into reload now.
Confirm. Thank you.
Keep sending fighters, team.
Next,
keep
you're gonna shoot
sending
Devo in the Ferox, Devo in the Ferox, and then after that Mondo, Devo, then Mondo, Devo, then Mondo. Alright, Devo's dead, all on Mondo, all on Mondo. Secondary is gonna be Blaze, secondary is gonna be Blaze. And EMP brawl, dude, I'm having fun. Secondary for now, go for Blaze, go for Blaze. Okay, heat your guns, heat your guns, heat your guns, heat your guns. You're gonna shoot this target, you're gonna shoot this target, you're gonna shoot this target, you're gonna shoot this target. Alright, boom. Alright, next target, next target, next target, next target, next target. Yeah, I know they're shooting us, don't worry. We gotta trade here a little bit. Next target, next target. On the broadcast, on the broadcast. Next, you're gonna shoot this target, and shoot this target, and shoot this target. No names, just shoot the target. Alright, Ivo scratched, all on Tiffany, DPS on Tiffany, DPS on Tiffany. Secondary is going to be Naboa. Secondary is going to be Naboa. Next, you're going to shoot Shifty. Next, you're going to shoot Shifty. Podcast for you now. Oh, that guy just died. You're going to shoot Princess. You're going to shoot Princess. Secondary is going to be Colossus. Secondary Colossus. Princess, then Colossus. Princess, then Colossus. After you're done shooting Oh God, you're going to shoot Crow Tree. You're going to shoot Crow Tree in the Ferox. Alright, next you're going to shoot Zestrelli. Next you shoot Zestrelli. Broadcast for you now. Secondary is going to be Arian. Secondary is going to be Arian. Secondary is going to be Arian. Secondary is going to be TUJ. Secondary is going to be TUJ. Shooting through their fax reps, guys. Shoot Puff, shoot Puff, shoot Puff. Next, you're going to shoot Mondo. Secondary Mondo. Alright, shoot Mondo, shoot Mondo, shoot Mondo. Next, you're going to shoot Wubby. You're going to shoot Wubby Muffin. You're going to shoot Wubby Muffin. Shoot Mondo, then shoot Wubby. Get some discipline here, guys. Don't split damage. Yeah, I know we're losing fucking mutants here, no worries. Okay, go ahead and shoot this Drake. Go ahead and shoot this Drake. Go ahead and shoot this Drake. He brought his Drake. Shoot Alex Groner in the Ferox. Alex Groner in the Ferox. Secondary is going to be Xion. Secondary is going to be Xion. Okay, shoot this target, shoot this target, shoot this target. Heat guns, heat guns, heat guns, heat guns, heat guns, heat guns, heat guns. Okay, everyone go ahead and reload to Proton, exit when you reloaded, reload to Proton, exit when you reloaded. Props on, props on, props on, props on, props on. Let's go. Reload to Proton, X when you reloaded, reload to Proton, X when you reloaded. Alright, everyone shoot this target, shoot this target, shoot this target, shoot this target. Shoot all this garbage, shoot all this garbage, shoot all this garbage. Take this for your warp, guys. If you miss the warp, you're gonna warp to me when I land. Go ahead and reload your guns, guys. Reload your guns, reload your guns. Anchor props off, anchor props off, anchor props off. Alright. Let's get GF and local, GF and local, GF and local.
Even though this was a great brawl, the longer we stayed, the less sense it made to us, as the cost of the objective was becoming too great. Great use of game mechanics. I certainly was not expecting this. It was clear that we needed a new strategy to counter this. The first thing on my mind was max range Roke, the literal flying gun with more guns mounted on it. These things can hit out to almost 300 kilometers, and would force the enemy fleet to come to us, while our subcaps and carriers would provide support. Unfortunately, the first test run didn't go as well as expected, as the enemy carriers and their fighters had great damage applications to our battleships, and our logistic wing were not able to keep up with the repairs. Lessons learned. Fool me once, shame on us. Fool us twice.
If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
And it became very apparent that the further escalation of force is required.
Carrier supers undock.
And we wanted to see if the enemies were willing to do the same. So again, we are here for another armor timer. And again, the enemy wants to continue to feed us Feroxes, with Voltus upshipping to armor Macarios. And even the Imperium brought Serbs. And on grid with us were Rokes, carriers, with a full complement of space superiority fighters to counter the enemy fighters. Super carriers were also on grid with us, with heavy fighters. The strategy was simple: engage the fort at max range, space superiority fighters protect the battleships, and heavy fighters create a kill zone around the battleships for anything with a signature radius larger than a battlecruiser. By the way, I hide fighters for my overview, but trust me, they're there. As we opened fire on the Fortizar, the first wave of defending Feroxes land on grid at point-blank range. A celebration could be heard from the supercarrier pilots as they began the process of converting Feroxes into wrecks in a matter of seconds.
All fighters, all carrier supers lock and shoot Feroxes. You're shooting
lock that
Feroxes
guy.
with your fighters. NSA's on, lock and shoot Feroxes with your fighters.
Seeing how fast the Feroxes got shredded, the Macarios wanted nothing to do with it, and remained tethered for the most part. And the Fortizar was pushed into his final timer, where it was not contested. We had some really good escalating content here. It's too bad it never reached its peak. Still though, great fights, and great use of mechanics. This was EVE is truly all about. I for one don't care for much of the PvE content of the game. However, I really do enjoy the stories that the players create with the tools and mechanics that we're given. I just wish there were more tools in that toolbox. Anyways, goodbye for now. And P.S. I'm still in flight training. This 8-month course is now over a year long, so please do understand that I am still not very much around. So again, goodbye for now.